Okay.
Hi guys, good afternoon. Today is Thursday and Chopper History, brought to you by Indian Motorcycles and Law Tigers, which you guys can see. Check out.
Yeah, we've got our Indian shirts on.
Oh yeah, so I have my new Music City Indian shirt from Cam down in Nashville from Music City. He was our guest, I believe last Thursday.
Yeah.
Which showed us some of the new Indian models, the 2021s, which they already have out. They're stepping ahead of their competitor and getting their new models out, which I think is awesome because I think it's cooler to have a 2021 than a 2020.
Yeah, and as you know, Harley Davidson isn't coming out with their new models till February.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so Indian's going to
take advantage of it.
Definitely take advantage of it. In fact, I might be looking at a new Indian myself.
Yeah, hopefully.
I might be making the big switch.
Hopefully I won't be the only Indian owner in the family.
Yeah.
I see some comments over here. Dan, good morning in Tennessee. So Dan, if you're anywhere near Nashville, go over and check out Music City Indian. Carol, good morning from New Jersey. Jeremy, good morning from the frozen tundra of Minnesota. Ooh, keep it. So that's why, too, obviously you guys can notice we're outside. So we are right outside of our building today. It is such a nice day out. We have had rain and it was kind of cold the beginning of the week, and now it's sunny, and I mean it's gotta be 65.
No, I just looked. It's 73.
Wow, so even warmer. So
73 degrees here today. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. So if any of you guys are from New England, get out and ride because it is mid-October, and who knows how many more days like this we'll have.
Yeah, we've already had a few guys over here today on their bikes.
Yeah, which I'm sure, like I said, we're outside, so I wouldn't doubt it if you guys hear a motorcycle pull up during our broadcast. But sorry if I can't get to all these comments. They pop up so fast. It's not funny. None pop up, and then all of them pop up at once. But I see we got some people, Andy in Bridgewater, somebody in South Dakota, France.
Howie. Hey, Howie.
Yep. France is pretty cool. Aruba.
Wenton.
Stuart.
Hey, Wenton.
Matt French. Good morning. Darcy. Good morning, Darcy. Mike Dunn, beautiful day in New Hampshire. Marvin in South Carolina. Shannon Poor. Oh, hi, Rob. Okay, guys, let's get to it because we have a special guest. And this guy, DP and I have been saying back and forth multiple times in the last couple of weeks, hey, let's get Darren. Let's get Darren. And, things just transpire and whatnot.
Darren McKeag is a great guy. He's a good friend of ours, and he is a fantastic artist. He is a true lifestyle artist, biker lifestyle, and we're gonna get Darren on.
Yeah, so let's get to it. Let's bring Darren on. Let's see. Hi, Darren.
Hey, Good morning. Good morning, guys. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I don't know if it's all true, but thank you.
Well, we would have said
it's all true.
We would have said more, but we wanted to cut to it because I already got a sneak preview of what you're going to show all these guys, including DP.
Right.
And I know this could go on forever because you have such cool stuff.
Thank you.
You know what? I was going to take a picture of the board you did for me.
Swapped boards.
And, I wanted to post it today, but I forgot to do it when I was home.
See, Darren, this is what I was telling you about yesterday.
Yeah, right. Half of the course. You know what I mean?
I totally get it. Jody and I were just talking, and even Dave, when you and I were talking yesterday, I'm like, these are such great stories, and I get so sidetracked so easily in my studio,
I know. We do too. Especially me.
Yeah. Well, I'm so honored to be a part of this. This is a great platform that you guys are offering, and I'm super stoked and honored to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Yeah. So Darren, for the people that are just tuning in and the people that aren't in the know, your artwork is definitely one of my favorites. So I uploaded a couple of things. I just saw this, and this is so cool, and it's so cool that the motor is like the heart of the skeleton. That is just so cool. I can't see quite. I think it's a shovel head.
Yeah. So I think it's a knucklehead. I'm not sure. I can't see either. But so obviously my background has been influenced by tattoos I've been tattooing since 89 and 90. So even 3-4 years before that, I was, just amazed by the tattoo world. I had tattoos around me growing up. And so that particular piece was influenced by, of course, my good friend Richie Pan, who was known for like taking religious images and transferring them into the, the motorbike world. So it kind of has a lot of influence from that. So
I like that. I think that is wicked cool. I
Thank
like
you.
the religious kind of
Yeah,
thing.
no, that's very cool.
Yeah. This one I thought was wicked cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up also with Cartoons Magazine. That's where I learned to draw cars and stuff. And my dad was not only into motorbikes, but he was into vanning. And so there's the influence for that as well,
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I had a Chevy van that looked like that back in the 70s.
That's what made me think of
Yeah.
I can see it leaving the stop sign just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You driving.
Yeah, with DP driving.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So why don't you show us show us what you got like in that background?
So like most people that know me know that as a kid, I was really, really so my dad he's been into motorbikes his whole life, and he was more into like the stock Harleys, where his buddy was into the chopped Harleys. And my dad and I went into town to his buddy's garage, and that's where I saw my very first Playboy centerfolds and Easy Rider centerfolds that David Mann painted. And I wasn't even probably 5. And I can still remember walking into this garage and seeing that stuff. And those David Mann pieces affected me to this day. And so some of the paintings I do are influenced by David's stuff. So the piece in the background is 57 by 77. I built the frame and stretched the canvas myself.
That's pretty cool.
Wow,
That's big.
yeah.
So
Very
this
cool.
is based off of David's Delirium, a flesh fabrication. That's where it's the centerfold where you can't really see all you see is the girl's back and her butt, but no legs, no head, and she's covered in tattoos. So this is my take on it, where actually the tattoos are coming alive off of her, like the chopper's coming off of her, the snake and the dragon are coming off of her. And in my painting, she's actually laying on a tattoo machine.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then deep down into this is an image from the Tijuana jailbreak, which is one of David's paintings. And then it says the Blue Fox. That was a bar in the Tijuana jailbreak. And then really close, these sissy bars are out of another painting of David's that Tom Fugel is riding in with him, and David's in it, and Tiny, and a couple of others.
That's cool. That's neat how you incorporated several of David's paintings into one.
Yeah, and then I'll show you this other one. This is the original Day Moon piece that the Mann family asked me to create for one of the Chopper Fest years. So that's Missy on the back. And a lot of my images have skeletons and stuff in them. And then instead of being on the Pacific coast or out there, this is here in Iowa with cornfields.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You guys are full of cornfields.
Cornfields everywhere.
Yeah, I would have to say Iowa is a pretty boring state.
Yeah, I'm not.
Except for your place,
right?
Darren.
That's what I was just gonna say. You're the most exciting thing in the whole.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a great place to raise a family, but there's, the fall is pretty, but as I get older, it seems like fall, it just goes straight from hot to cold. Like we had our first blizzard on Monday.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like 5 inches probably.
No kidding. Now,
Yeah,
how far are you from Des Moines?
I'm 2 hours east of Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You know, when we did the last Biker Build Off, that's where we left from, Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah. I am literally, Interstate 80 goes right through. I'm literally 9 miles north of Interstate 80.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
This piece behind me is a print of the original I did for the Buffalo Chip this year. They raffled the original painting for a charity. And this is one of the prints.
That's cool.
So, it's got, again, a David Mann influence.
Yeah.
You should have done Trump in that Mount Rushmore.
Right? Yeah, I try to stay out of politics.
I know, we do
it.
too. We do too.
You know, Darren, you know, the haters out there are unbelievable. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I took a picture last year when I pulled in the Willys for the show. There was a whole Trump booth there on the side, and I took a picture of me with a Trump holding a Trump sign, sitting on my bike, and you know, and I posted it. I can't believe the comments that I got. Guys said, "Oh, I lost all respect for you. I'll never follow you again."
Yeah, it's
I mean,
kind
it
of
was crazy.
You can't. So social media for me personally is, as we all know, it's a double-edged sword. You can't talk. For me personally, I can't go into religion, politics, anything, you know, talk about any friends I might have in any clubs, nothing like that, man. Like I can't go there.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, I want to sell art.
Yeah, right.
True.
Exactly.
True.
And so,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, and it's crazy, but you know, it's sensitive. Social media is a double-edged sword. You know, you got to be careful. So
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
yeah.
No, absolutely.
Darren, Darcy said, was the painting at the auction in the Legends ride?
Yes, that's what it was for. Yep. And there's actually, you can see it in the painting. There's the Legends Ride buffalo chip right here. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So these guys are headed past Mount Rushmore towards the buffalo chip for the Legends Ride.
Oh,
when we get off of live, Darren, me and DP will have to go back into my office on the big computer so he can see all this on the big screen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because we can only see it like I know all the viewers can see it big, but we can only see it tiny. So I'll go back on my big computer because
I figured, because I saw Dave like get up close like
right, yeah. Well, you know, I gotta kind of tune in my eyes, you know.
Yeah, if I took my glasses off, it just turns blurry, you know.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. You know,
So
I gotta raise my head up so I can see my bifocals. You know.
I know. Like I look up. Missy will catch me looking up under my eyelid. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I can't see anything."
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you got going on that's new?
So the big painting behind me, I'm trying to get done. Like, so every morning I get up and I sit at. I'll show you. I just did it this morning. I sit at the breakfast table and I do a morning drawing. This particular one is colored pencil. I just put it up on Instagram and Facebook. So
do you do a drawing every morning?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah,
no, that is so cool.
I draw every day. I draw. Sometimes it's morning. Sometimes I don't get to it. But I try to have my coffee, check emails. But I'm working on slowly producing a coffee table book that's strictly just all of my drawings, all my art.
Oh, yeah, that's cool, very Darren. Cool. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's going to be a hardback. It's going to be like, I mean, it'll be the only book I ever produce in my whole life. So it's going to be like, I'm talking like it'll be over 500 pages.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So each of my drawings and stuff go archived and stuff, and I scan them. A lot of people, sometimes people offer me money for my morning drawings and stuff. Some people buy them, and some people I never hear from again after I tell them the price. So, you know, it's give and take. But
you know what? If you really want it, they'll buy it.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, you think about it like, so for the very first time ever in my life this year in Sturgis, I met a friend, Missy and I met some new friends, and he had an original David Mann painting, an original.
Wow, really? That's cool.
I'd never even seen one, let alone hold one. And it affected me because I was just like, I mean, this is amazing. David's art has affected my whole life and put me on this path. So with the new age we're in, where social media and people see stuff instantly, and, you know, and here's an opportunity. I'm not saying I'm not anything close to David Mann, but here's an opportunity for people to have a sketch of mine or an original sketch, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if I can't imagine just back in the day when David was just doodling or whatever, or anybody, and just be like, "Oh, you want this sketch?" I'd be like, I'd lose my shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how much a doodle from David Mann's worth.
Well, I think I might have told you I've got a whole bunch of Easy Rider centerfolds that Dave signed for me and put little
Dude.
notes on them, and
Can't even imagine.
And he did draw little doodles on them.
Can't even imagine.
You know, because I used to see Dave a lot when I was in California. I stayed with him quite a few times, and you know, so I'd grab the latest Easy Rider and say, "Here, Dave, do something on this," you know.
Right.
And I've got most of them framed at my house.
That's incredible. I just, you know, it's the craziest thing, but for whatever reason, you know, maybe it was because I lived in the Midwest, but I mean, I know David was in the Midwest for a while, but I missed meeting David. I missed meeting Elvis. I missed meeting Evel Knievel, you know, and these were all people that influenced me. So, you know, it was,
yeah. Well, you know, I've been fortunate to meet most of those people, you know, and Dave was a friend of mine. And you know, it was a pretty cool era.
yeah.
You know, you know, we spent some time partying together.
That's it's crazy.
You know, back in the day.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a cool era, you know, and the young guys in the bike world today will never be able to experience, you know, all of that stuff. You know, the very first Easy Rider show that was on the Queen Mary in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And I spent the better part of the night in a little teeny cabin with Dave and Lou Falsigno. Do you know who he is?
I don't know.
Lou is a guy from Southern Florida who is a extremely cool chopper builder. Lou was building choppers back in the 80s that were like the coolest thing out there.
Wow.
You know, when we went to Florida, we went to the Rat's Hole show.
Yeah.
Man, Lou Falsigno's bikes were there, and there was none other like him.
That's amazing.
You know? And he was a true character.
I mean, I can't even imagine being in that room. You know, I hear stories and so like I've become friends with Evil's painter, George Sedlak. He actually lives like an hour from me. And so
he does really cool stuff. I follow him on Instagram.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it's my closest connection. And I ran into him last year at the we just live an hour from the big Davenport swap meet, and he was there. Yeah. And dude, the stories, like, I mean, I could have stayed there for like 5 hours.
I bet.
You know, so that's my closest connection to Evil, you know. So
it's almost like Darren, you were born, I'm gonna say probably 10 years too late.
Yeah, that's possible.
That generation.
Yep, I totally think that. But you know, I also love the era I grew up in because, man, I mean, you know, I was born in '67, but I got into the 70s, you know. But I do agree. Yeah. I totally agree with that statement. But you know, no regrets, you know, just it worked out. Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
This is one more
many
piece.
more years to go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go.
This is one more piece. So this is actually a painting I did of David. It's kind of a different style, but black and white. He's standing by one of his panheads, and it's got the big horn, the big honker horn on it. This is just the only print. The original went to, I think, the Netherlands.
Oh, no kidding.
That's cool.
I've got a collector over there that bought it. But let's go down to my studio if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you another quick story. Dave Mann story. When Dave passed away, when they had the very first Chopper Fest, I went out there to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And Jackie, who you know I knew very well.
Yep, I've met her.
Gave me one of Dave's prints that just blew me away. It was so cool. In fact, Jody has it now.
Yeah, which we've talked about this a couple of times, and I gotta post a picture of it.
Yeah, it's
was at my
house. A picture of a little baby bear sitting in front of a trash can with trash around them.
They were in a box. It was a family.
It was a family of bears.
Okay.
And the Capitol, the Washington, D.C. Capitol was in the background. And I mean, it was nothing motorcycle related at all.
Right.
And not even like his kind of drawing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's totally out of the box.
You wouldn't have thought that Dave, you know, it was nothing that related it to Dave.
Yeah, you wouldn't think he did that.
Yeah,
we'll have to post it. Send me a picture of it.
The title of it is called Bare Necessities.
Dude,
and it was like, these like homeless, beat up bears with, you know, like trash and cigarette butts all around them, and a fence, and then the beautiful Capitol building behind him.
That just shows the versatility that he had, you know?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, you know, his main source of income was paperback book covers.
I remember, I think you told me that before. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, and then he did, you know, food labels.
Right. I mean, dude,
Food labels.
and think of it back then when there was no social media and
Right.
it wasn't a drive-through instant society where everything was done by letter and snail mail and like, you know, magazine ads or like newspaper ads, all
it's
that
almost
stuff.
like social media is a good thing for somebody like you because all your art will always be preserved.
If you use it, that's just it. If you use it right, I mean, we all know social media can be used in the wrong way, and you know, we can go down there, but you know, I mean, I've been sober 6 years thanks to my wife, and she has too, but due to sobriety and her and social media, it's allowed my art to blossom worldwide.
That's awesome, as it should, because you're such a talented artist. You should be worldwide.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We have somebody commented that they love your matchbooks.
Yeah,
I wish I got a picture of one of them to upload.
Yeah, well, I have one. I think you had sent one to me. In fact, Laura has it.
Oh, okay, I'll show you. I've got a whole drawer full of them.
Oh, yeah. Really? I was just going to say you have to show us one.
So this is coming down to my studio here. This is an original painting of Willie. He's a really good friend that I did. It's 30 by 30.
Wow.
Really
cool.
And then this is like, I've got an Evel Knievel collection. I did this is an original 36 by 48. So Evel always had a lucky rabbit's foot. And this, you know, he wasn't always lucky when he jumped.
No.
Yeah.
So this is he pulled the rabbit out of the hat and the rabbit's leg is cut off, and a Wembley Stadium helmet, and then this is my Evel Knievel collection.
All the stuff, all the toys and figurines.
Yeah.
Jeez. Darren, we built a bike about a year ago for a guy who was an Evel Knievel fanatic.
Oh man.
And so we did a replica bike for him. And I mean, this guy, he had the whole suit, the helmet. We did a helmet for him too.
Yeah.
And he literally rode his bike around. He come from a little town in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
And he rode his bike around town with the suit and the bike. And oh my God.
Maybe he's watching because
Howie.
He watches
Howie Seacrest is his name.
He might be. He might be. I've got like it's probably hard to see, but there's Snake River Canyon jump photos, and the photographer is from Iowa.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got all sorts of stuff. So you guys know, Wally from the Wall of Death?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So way back when I was partying in Sturgis and everything, I went over and watched Wally at the Wall of Death and, drinking and partying and all that. And Wally took about 3 wrecks before he finally got his bike up on the wall and going, and banged up his elbow and everything. Never met the guy ever. And him and I were sipping whiskey later, and I introduced myself and I said, man, that was an amazing show. And I said, I grew up with Evel Knievel and stuff. I didn't even know Wally for 5 minutes. He walked over to his truck, his semi, came back and gave me Evel's funeral program and every publication that published Evel's passing.
Wow.
That's cool.
He had it with him in his truck.
That's cool.
No kidding.
He gave it to me. Look at this piece here.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, there's a skateboard deck.
Yeah.
Look familiar?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, this is where I do all my painting. This is like, I was showing Jody earlier, like, this is my original Sunset Strip interpretation that Jackie Mann, this is the very first time the Mann family got a hold of me and asked me to interpret one of David's pieces. So it's on the surfboard.
Boy, you got quite a place there.
Oh, man.
I know, that's what I was telling him. He's got to make a museum.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
This is my so I've been in the tattoo business since '89. This is every tattoo machine I've ever owned. I've never sold one. Some tattoo history and stuff. My tattoo shop neon sign. I have an entire collection of Ford oil cans, hubcaps, and wrenches, Model A.
Wow.
Stuff like that. I was showing Jody earlier. This is my Ghost Rider tapestry.
Yeah.
From, back when Easy Rider magazine was advertising them.
That's cool.
Yep.
But this is where I do all my painting. I'm working on a helmet right now, a Biltwell helmet.
I can't wait. Can you see that helmet?
Yeah.
It's a little dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you
Oh
go.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of it's a gray helmet with black on it. So
Yep.
So like that helmet, did somebody commission you to do that?
not this one. So that's a really good question, because so Dave asked earlier, like, what am I working on? So I'm trying to wean myself of commissions, but even we all know as artists that sometimes you have to take them to survive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I only take commissions once I get a full understanding of what the client wants, whether it's a tattoo, a painting, or a helmet, or anything.
Yeah.
Because it'll get done with great enthusiasm. Whereas if you take something because, you got to buy food for the refrigerator, it sits on the back burner because it's just a horrible job.
Right. I
Yeah.
agree, because I
Yeah.
like it when people give me more input and more
Yeah.
ideas, to make it more to them.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to get to the point where I create all my art based on what's in my head. And then if people want to buy it, they can.
Yeah. Well, that works.
Yeah.
It does. Whether it's an original helmet or, we have a full online store, Merch Mountain. So all of my prints are, all of my Jaclay prints and regular prints are all warehoused in Atlanta, Georgia. And, when you go to Merch Mountain, they buy it. They're all signed and numbered and everything, and they ship right from there. So.
Oh wow, very cool.
Darren, is that on your website?
It's on my website. So if you go to McKeagart.com and click shop, it'll direct you right to there.
Okay, I'll post the link. I'll post the link after this.
Yeah.
For people to at least go and check it out and see, and
Yeah, if you go to my Instagram and just click on shop, it'll take you right to it as well.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So what's your Instagram? Give your Instagram a plug.
McKeag Art.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll actually
Yes.
add a banner of that. Do you prefer to tattoo or draw?
I when it comes to the tattooing I'm doing today, which is large scale black and gray or color motorbike hot rod stuff, I love tattooing. I love it. I grew up, I will say that, the tattoo industry has changed. Tattoo shops for the most part are a little softer. Like I grew up with, biker tattoo shops.
Oh yeah, right. Absolutely.
Where if you were out of line, you got your ass kicked to the curb or something.
Yeah.
Where, a lot of places now are so Missy, my wife, she does cosmetic tattooing. And so that brings a whole nother clientele into the tattoo shop. And so, it's just a different vibe, and it's cool. It works. But, I do miss this, the time where, there's a bunch of motorbikes out front and, you hang out at the shop all day long, which you don't do anymore.
Right. Yeah. How long has Missy been tattooing?
She's been doing cosmetic tattooing for 3 years now. And it's amazing. It just blows me away what she does. I've had people ask me to do eyebrows. I'm like, if you want flames on your head, that's fine. But
right.
I can't do that shit she does,
I had a friend of mine years and years ago, a long time ago, and he had eyeballs tattooed on his eyelids.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was so cool. I mean, and when he was looking at you straight on, they were tilted off to one side.
Right.
And, I mean,
creepy.
Yeah, that was something.
I mean, that's the thing I miss about the early, and I'm not even dude, I'm just talking about the early 90s. I can't even imagine the 70s and 60s.
Yeah.
But even when I got into it, you sat around drawing, and if nobody was there, you tattooed each other. That was cool.
Yeah. Did you ever know our friend Nolan, Don Nolan?
No, I knew of him. I never met him or anything.
Yeah, I mean, Nolan has been a friend of ours since the 70s. Well, a friend of mine, and then, I mean, he's been part of our family.
Right.
And he used to come out back in the 80s and the 90s. He used to come to my house probably twice a year and stay for 10 days and tattoo in my kitchen.
So great.
Yeah. And he'd take my son, him and my son would go to the junkyard and find old car parts. And
when we were little, he would draw on our arms with Sharpies.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Cool with tattoos.
Yeah. And I have one of his tattoo machines. one of his original tattoo machines.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you make your own machines?
I did once. I tried it back in the day. It's not my forte, so I don't do that anymore. So, there's so many amazing people making tattoo machines these days. It's just unreal,
Yeah. Yeah. This so I saw this painting, which I thought was really cool, of
Thank
Indian
you.
Larry.
Thank you. That's
And then, the one you just showed us. So you doing those kind of like a series of those? Because I saw you have one of Billy Lane.
I have one of Billy. It just what I am in the mood for doing just kind of fluctuates. It's kind of a roller coaster. I like the black and white stuff and I like the color stuff. It just depends. But Brian Helm, who took those photos,
was an awesome photographer.
Dude, amazing. And
I love Brian.
So,
yeah.
I'm always looking for ideas, and I looked through his stuff and I said, oh, these are super cool. And I asked him if I could do some paintings of him. And he's like, absolutely.
Yeah, you put like a whole different perspective on them too, though.
Thank you. Yeah.
They're very cool.
It's really fun.
Those must be big too. Are those the same size as the one upstairs that you're doing?
Those are 36 by 48. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This helmet right here. So I was pinstriping in Biltwell's booth on the 75th year at the City Park and in Sturgis. And Michael Lichter, who's a good friend of all of ours, he comes up and he has this helmet and he says to Otto at Biltwell, he said, hey, my strap broke. He's getting ready to go on a ride for a shoot. He goes, can I get a helmet? And Otto's like, yeah, man, just take one of his helmets. And Michael threw this in the garbage. And I said, hold on, bud. I said, wait a second. I pulled it out of the garbage and I handed him a Sharpie and he signed it for me.
Oh, nice. Cool.
I was like,
yeah, cool.
I was like, Michael Lichter, you can't just throw your helmet away, man.
I was gonna say, that's always good stuff. I
know.
I've been itching to cut a helmet in half and so you can mount it on a wall. So you can And DP picked a helmet out of a trash at a swap meet and we did it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many. Missy will be like, we'll be driving and I'll veer off the road and I'll be like, did you see that barn? Did you see that pile of garbage? Like, there's got to be something in it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We just need bigger barns to put all the shit in.
Oh, man, I'm saying I love going through flea markets, through garbage, through, there's always something.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
Can we see some of those other helmets that you have painted?
So this is one I did. This started out as an original Biltwell lane splitter, and I turned it into this futuristic hot rod switch. It's got lights built into it that turn on. I think it's probably the battery. It's got batteries in it. It's super futuristic with like space hoses.
Yeah.
And I built this panel into it where the lights come on and stuff. But I think the batteries, it's got like LED lights and everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
A lot of I'm working on this one. This is a skate deck that's getting ready to go out the door. A lot of my helmets are still boxed up from, I guess, Sturgis. I've been so busy, I haven't even unpacked from Sturgis. But the helmets like you see up here are just stuff I collect. And these are all gas tanks that I've collected over the years. And these are some that I've actually ran on my chopper and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And
you have everything displayed cool. Like
thank you.
Together and
took me we've been here 2 years. And it took me 2 weeks to build the studio.
Wow. Really? So that's actually, you've only been there 2 years and you have all that. That's
yeah. This was all in storage before. So the flash on the ceiling, I got that from Willie. He gave me some of his old tattoo flash.
Yep.
That's a good spot for it.
Do you know who JD Crow is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Crow's he's an old friend of mine. I see Crow a couple times a year. I go down to Virginia Beach and hang out with him. And
amazing.
Yeah, Crow's an amazing guy. Very low key.
Yeah, so it's crazy, but like I am good friends with a couple of the OG guys in the tattoo world from like back when only magazine out there was Tattoo Magazine, which I think was published by Paisano.
It was, yeah. In fact, Billy Tinney. Do you know Billy Tinney?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Billy
don't know him well, but I know him. But my first trip to Sturgis was like 89 or 90, and I was so hungry to get into the tattoo world. all there was Tattoo Magazine. I saw Brian Everett, who's from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I know Brian.
Standing on the street corner. He was tattooing with Gil Monty and Jack Rudy. And I just walked up to him. I mean, I'm like, okay, I'm either going to like have a conversation or get my ass kicked out of Sturgis, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, hey man, I said, I'm Darren. I'm trying to get into the tattoo business, but I can't buy supplies because I don't have a licensed shop, and I can't have a licensed shop because I don't have supplies. And Brian didn't know me 5 minutes. And he said, when you get back home, call Flo at National Tattoo and tell her I sent you. And Brian and I have been friends ever since.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've met all those guys over the
Yeah.
years. Jack Rudy, I've been with Jack a few times, and
It's just amazing. Like
Yeah.
so Missing Ice recently stopped and saw Brian like probably 3 weeks ago. And I said, you know, why did you do that for me? And he goes, I saw the same hunger in you that I had.
Yeah.
And
That's
I just
cool.
like, it blew me away. But I want to show you real quick. This is my dad when he was 15. These were his triumphs.
No kidding.
And he was 15. And just a few years ago, he gave me that denim jacket for my birthday.
Wow.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it doesn't fit, but he gave it to me.
Yeah.
Does it fit him?
No, it might have fit him. He's way more slender than I am.
Yeah. You know, Darren, hey, that story you just told about Brian Everett, right?
Yes.
I can tell you the same story about me and Alan Ness.
Oh man.
You
That's
know,
crazy.
I met Alan in 1975 in Detroit, and I invited him to come out to Laconia with us.
Right.
And so he said, sure, I'll come. And he says, I'd like to ship my bike. I'm like, okay. So he ships his bike. Now, I just knew him for a day or two.
Okay.
And he flies out. We pick him up. We have a great weekend riding together in Laconia. And then he said, hey, I know some guys in Detroit. You want to go to Detroit and hang out for a while? I said, sure. So we put both bikes in my old van.
Yeah.
We drive out to Detroit to meet up with Yosemite Sam brothers. You know who they are?
I don't.
Okay, Yosemite Sam at the time was probably one of the very top customizers in the industry.
Wow.
Built crazy looking choppers. I mean, his stuff was very distinctive.
Okay.
And then Ron Finch too.
Sure.
So we went out and hung out with the Yosemite Sam brothers and Finch and Carlini and all those big guys.
What year was this?
Shortly after that, you know, I told Alan, I'm going to open up I'm going to open up a retail store, and he said, well, I'm going to send you some stuff. So he sent me a whole line of his stuff to sell in my shop. He said, just pay me whenever you sell it.
Wow.
And you know, that kind of was a big inspiration for me.
Yeah, you know, I'm literally 20 minutes from the Anamosa Museum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're
Yeah.
that close.
The original JMP location. I never did get a chance to meet John. But you know, every time I get, because of social media, I get so many people that fly in or drive in to get tattooed, and I'm like, you're 20 minutes from one of the best museums in the country.
Oh yeah, that museum is awesome. I've got a couple bikes in there.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I can't even imagine, what year was that when you met Arlen?
75.
Wow. I mean, dude, things were so different.
You know, as a matter of fact, at that show, it was called It's Called Detroit was the name of the show. Huge show.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Donnie Smith there too.
Right on. I know Donnie. Yeah.
So we all met and, you know, became friends.
Right. So Missy and I, you know, over the years, you know, we've become really good friends with Brian Clock and Vanessa and all that.
Yeah.
And this year on the way to Sturgis, we stopped and hung out at the Clock party, and we're downtown, and Donnie is sitting, you know, it's super hot that day, and Donnie's sitting on the ledge of a window in the shade. And I love to watch what's going on around me. You got to today anyway, but people were just walking by, and keep in mind, like, it's very busy during the Clockwork party, but you got to keep in mind that when it's downtown like that, probably 90% of the people there are the local residents.
Yeah. Right. And they don't have a clue.
Yeah. And like, these people are just walking by. I'm like, I I go, babe, that's fucking Donnie fucking Smith sitting right there, and people are just like walking by, you know.
He's just a regular guy.
Yeah, Donnie's one of my good friends.
Yeah, I've been to his show a few times, and well, I remember I bumped into you guys at one of the Donnie Smith show. I had just bought a really beat up Panhead primary cover. I don't know if you remember that, and I stopped by your booth, and I said hey and stuff. So I mean, that's always been a really good show, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad it didn't happen this year, but that's with everything else this year.
Next, you know what? We're gonna come shooting out of this mess, and it's gonna be a bigger and better year next year, you know.
Oh yeah. I agree. I just hope it's sooner than later.
Yeah, it'd probably be like November 4th or 5th. Something
Yeah,
like
right, exactly.
That's what
without getting into politics. So
right.
Yeah.
Hey Darren, at your tattoo shop, so it's what's it called? Slingin' Ink?
well, that's my old shop. So right
Okay.
now today, Missy and I tattoo at a shop in Cedar Rapids, Iowa called 10-6 Tattoos. So you know, we just rent a space, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to tell people in your area, you know, if they're looking for tattoos and whatnot.
Yeah, 10-6 Tattoos. It's right downtown in Cedar Rapids. I moved up here 6 years ago when Missy and I met, and it was probably 2 years ago that I closed my tattoo shop just because it was, you know, during the summer months and stuff, it was just a regular hour commute, but the winters are so bad here. Sometimes it was 4 hours, and
wow,
I just couldn't do that. So the guys that were there all the time, you know, kind of just wanted to go do their own thing because I was so absent. And, you know, I supported the fact that I wanted them to have all the opportunities that they've all given me, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
It worked out really well. So
how far are you from Minneapolis?
5 hours.
Okay.
So that's not bad.
No.
So so like, I mean, in terms of like the nation, we are centrally located. We're an hour from Illinois. We're an hour from, you know, Wisconsin. You know, 2 hours from Missouri. 2 hours to Nebraska. You know, so
when you go to Nebraska, maybe you should.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to. I'm doing a road trip. Sometime in November.
Okay.
And I have to go to St. Paul, you know, to Nolan's tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And then I have to go to Omaha to see another guy, a friend of mine. And, you know, I might call you and maybe stop by.
So, yeah, you'll be north when you go that. But if you cut down Omaha and then head back east, you'll be back down where I'm at. So,
yeah, well, we'll probably go out 80 anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Dude,
you know,
we got a nice spare bedroom. We live back in the timber, and yeah, we can hang out and do like paint shit. Dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be really cool.
I would like to, not to invite myself, but I would like to come out to your guys' area, do paint shit, and eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we have the best seafood that there is anywhere.
So I really want to do this thing where it's like, I don't know if it's a YouTube channel or what, but where you travel around and you do art shit and food shit.
Yep.
That would be amazing.
Well, you know, Darren, we do what's called our fall foliage run.
Okay.
You know, it's a hamster event.
Sure.
But Jody and I put it on, and it's usually the first weekend in October.
Okay.
And we go down to Cape Cod, and it's really a cool deal. It's like, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, you know, next year you should come.
We should come out. That would be amazing.
You fly out. I'll give you a bike to ride, and you know, you'd enjoy it.
That would be amazing. I love all that.
Missy comes too, though.
Yeah. That I love showing her all sorts of parts of the country. You know, we travel. Apart from this year, we do travel quite a bit, and we really
you guys were overseas. I forget where you were, but I was thinking you guys were posting a ton, or she was, and I was so jealous.
Our last big trip we went was Vietnam and Bali.
Bali, that's what it was.
So like,
that's very cool.
She likes to like. I'm like, I'll say, you know, when travel is normal, I'll be like, where do you want to go? And then we'll do 2 weeks there, but then we'll find a place close where I do a week.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Like and we just eat food and go see the sights.
Take advantage of doing that.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, that's cool. I've thought that many times this year, that I'm very grateful for all the places that we've been.
Yeah.
because with the way, the year's going, who knows what traveling could be like.
Yeah, it'll get back to normal. It's got to.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we were in Sturgis and Missy and I were talking to you at the Lichter show, Jody, and
Yeah.
Dave was just getting ready to go up and talk, I think. But I said to you, you ever just like wake up every day and be like, I'm getting ready to go like do paint shit with Dave Perowitz? Like, I'm like,
no, I doubt it.
and you were like, Jody, you were like, wow, I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have.
Well, you can come here and you can do it a day.
Yeah.
I would love that because, like I said earlier in this interview, I said, I missed any connection with, and some, I mean, with social media, you can so not getting to meet Evil or Elvis or like David Mann. I mean, some people were untouchable, even if you could have a chance to meet them. Where social media today and being involved in the motorbike world, I've become really good friends with people like yourselves who I consider big names in the industry. And this is my opportunity to not miss out on hanging out with those people,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to take advantage of, you only live once, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to take advantage of, the opportunities that you get.
Yeah. It's just, and I think the older you get, you do realize, just this year alone, I think I've had 3 friends pass away. And that, the older you get, you start realizing, yeah, there's just one lap,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, absolutely. I know. Believe me.
Bobby Sega's hashtag.
Yeah, exactly. Bobby. He's a character.
We love Bobby.
Oh, yeah. Bobby is a character.
He's one of our closest friends,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Darren. Well, just so you know, a ton of people have chimed in and said you're a legend, that you're one of the best artists. They're honored to say they have a tattoo from you. They have a sleeve from you.
Wow.
Great guy. Honestly, the comments just keep coming through.
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you.
I mean, we're not your only fans. You have fans all over the world, and we literally have people that watch from, I can't even name all the countries. So
right? That's a beautiful thing. Like social media, especially Instagram, it's a huge platform for me. But with my prints and my art, I can literally ship art to anybody and anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
wicked
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Yeah. So you want to hear something crazy is, Jody tracks all this stuff. And other than the United States, but out of the country, where the number 1 spot is that watches our show? The biggest numbers.
Where?
Anywhere in the world other than the United States.
Where?
Thailand.
Dude, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And they're doing cool shit over there, man.
They are.
Like in terms of Asia, man, some of my favorite friends and artists are in Japan and Thailand and Bali, and it's crazy what they're doing.
It looks like it's a beautiful country too.
I'll tell you what, you want to know something really cool? When we were in Bali, it's Buddhism and Hinduism, and the biggest belief is karma. And here you are, if you rent a car or you're on a scooter, which is we rented a scooter. It's $4 a day and we zipped everywhere, but it's like suicidal. It's crazy. But when you're in traffic, a random stranger will stop traffic in the street so you can either back your car out, park your car, or get through. Not for personal gain, but karma, because he wants to help you out.
No kidding.
That's cool. I'm a firm believer in karma.
Like, how many times are you in traffic here where you either see or you're trying to get over and they don't let you over?
No, then when you try, they flip you off.
Yeah, and it's just like, I think everybody should visit Bali just once because
you wouldn't want to drive in Boston then.
Wow, man, I tell you, I've ridden twice in New York City with Bobby, and this was like 3 a.m, and it's still crazy.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like Missy was like shaking by the time we got to Times Square for bike night.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah, I'm sure it was crazy.
Yeah, it's a little faster paced up here in the Northeast than probably Iowa.
Man, I remember. I've ridden from Pensacola, the Gulf, over to Daytona, and you got to hit the Mixmaster in Jacksonville. And that's like merging into a goddamn NASCAR race.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Crazy. Like you got to be on your toes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, all right, Darren. Well, we'll let you get back to work, but we really appreciate you coming on here today, and we're honored to have you and see all your art. And
you guys mean the world to me. Like I'm so honored. Like you guys, we hold you dear to us, and I can't thank you enough for this wonderful opportunity.
Well, hey, listen, we're very glad to have you on so you can show people the art that you're creating. It's amazing.
Well, you know,
amazing.
You, Dave, it's in terms of influencers, like I remember looking at your flames when I was a kid, and I still look at them like I'm blown away. And
now you own some.
What's that?
Now you own some.
Dude, I do. Like I used to get in trouble in school for handing in papers that had flames and bikes and drawings and trucks and hot rods up. And my teachers would be like, you can't hand your papers in like this. I go, why? And they're like, because you're supposed to do your homework. I said, all I want to do is draw. That's all I want to do.
Yeah. Hey, you know, a quick story, Darren. When I was a kid, right? I'm talking probably 10 or 12 years old. You know, I used to love the all the old Ed Roth drawings. You know, those monsters on the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a kid in my neighborhood he was a few years older than me, and he was a pretty good artist. And so my mother went down and bought me a white sweatshirt.
There's one right
there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So me and my friend went down to his house, and he drew Roth monster figures on hot rods on our white sweatshirts with magic markers.
That's amazing.
And you know, I wore that sweatshirt for years.
Where's the sweatshirt at now?
Oh, geez, it's long gone, I'm sure. But
that's right.
To go on, okay, I was probably, we'll say I was 12 years. I'd say between 10 and 12. Well, 20 years later, I hook up with the same guy, and he did artwork for me for 10 or 15 years after that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He did striping for me.
That's amazing. I had probably 15, maybe 20 years ago, my mom gave me a bunch of art that I did when I was 10 or 12. And it was tattoo flash and black and white art like I often do with stippling in it. And
cool.
you know, it was at that point I realized that not only because I did 6 years in the Army, and I was at a crossroads whether I wanted to go to flight school because I was a crew chief on helicopters, and I really have always enjoyed aviation, but I was at a crossroads, and I went the art way and pursued my art career. And it was at that point of those drawings that I knew I was not only where I was supposed to be, but I had come full circle, you know?
Well, you know, there's nothing better in the world, as far as I'm concerned, than to be able to get up in the morning and love going to work.
Oh man, like it's not like we said yesterday, it's not even work. It's just like I know going to bed, I'm like, sometimes if I get to bed late, I'm like, I don't have to get up for anything. Like this morning, we went the back way to drop off a vehicle for a service. And we crossed over the freeway, and I said to Missy, I said, look at that shit show. We don't even have to get on that in the mornings.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
We're pretty blessed. So yeah, it's just, I couldn't ask for a more amazing family and life, you know?
Yep. Absolutely. Well, Darren, listen, Jody, you're going to hang on.
Yeah. So Darren, I'm going to put you back and down for a minute, but stay on. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys. So thank you guys all for tuning in. And that was Darren McKeag. You guys can go over to Instagram and make sure you follow and like all his stuff. He's definitely an awesome artist, one of our favorites. And Monday we are going to have a different show.
Yeah.
It's going to be me by myself.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the road.
But on Thursday, we're going to have Marilyn Stemp, who is going to check in with us. She is going this weekend to the Battle of the Baggers, which is at Laguna Seca this weekend, sponsored by Drag Specialties. So she's going to let us know all about that. And then on Monday, November 2nd, we're going to have a really cool show. It's going to be Rhett Rotten, and he's going to be in his wall. So those of you that don't know, he rides the Wall of Death. He's one of the best riders.
Yeah, Rhett is an unbelievable rider.
Yeah, so we're going to have him November 2nd. So we have a bunch of good shows lined up. Make sure you tell all your friends to tune in. It's every Monday and Thursday at noon, sponsored by Indian Motorcycles and Law Tigers. So I guess that's it for today, and we will catch you guys all on Monday. And don't forget to give Darren a like on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, see you all later.
All right, see you on Monday.